last video, we looked at the benefits of living in the OIDC apartment building. Something that I didn't mention is that the neighbourhood my building is in is really unique too. There are several other buildings like mine, OIDC enabled, in the area, which has turned out to be very convenient for the local businesses and for the residents. I'll give you an example of how this arrangement has benefited us all. So I was walking through the lobby recently and saw another advertisement on the community bulletin board, this time for Ripley's Gym. They were offering a special discount for all new members, exclusively for people who live in one of the OIDC style apartments. I knew that it was long past time to start exercising regularly, so I decided to call them up. This gym was very eager to sign up new members. Competition is quite stiff for these sorts of businesses. To make it as easy as possible to get me started, they were willing to send Ripley herself over to meet me in the building lobby only a few minutes after I called. Ripley had previously made a partnership agreement with the management of each of the neighbourhood buildings. This partnership meant that there was a smooth process available for her to get the necessary details about each tenant when they signed up. It also meant that she knew that the people signing up were actually tenants in the building. When she showed up to meet me, I saw the process firsthand. First, I met Amy at the front desk, along with Ripley. I showed Amy my driver's licence, and Ripley showed her her business card. Amy then had me sign a quick release document, which stated that I was okay with Ripley having some of my personal information, like name, age, gender, mailing address, phone number and email address. Given that this meant I didn't have to fill out a tedious membership form, I was very happy to sign Amy's release document. Amy then printed out a small ticket for Ripley, which had all of that information on it. One really cool thing about this ticket is that Ripley was able to instantly scan it and use the information within it to register me at the gym. This was possible because the information on the ticket was standardised. Every single OIDC style apartment building in the neighbourhood is able to print off these same types of tickets with the same standard details about the tenant. Each ticket is also watermarked with the building address that it came from, which means that only legitimate tickets will be recognised. Now that I was registered with Ripley's Gym, there was another neat option available to me as a tenant from one of these buildings. Every time I wanted to go to the gym, I just needed to grab a ticket from the apartment front desk on my way out of the door. They can print these very quickly. I can use this ticket when I get to the gym as a means of identification, and also as a simple way to keep my customer information current within the gym's files. You see, if my phone number or email address, or anything else about me, changes over the course of my time as a gym customer, I won't have to remember to keep updating them. These details are stored on the tickets, so every time I visit the gym, they have the latest information. Nothing about this ticket issuing process is unique to Ripley's Gym. Any of the local businesses that are willing to follow this process are welcome to do so, and many of them do. Likewise, when a new building is opened, the details about how businesses can start serving its tenants are published in the lobby. These details always follow a well-known template, making it very easy for businesses to serve those tenants. Working with the local businesses like this has become a way of life for the people in our neighbourhood, which has made things easier for everyone. We no longer have to deal with repeatedly filling out customer sign-up forms or updating our personal information, and we no longer need to worry about having to carry keys for each of the members-only services we want to use. Instead, we just get a quick ticket from the front desk and we are on our way. Honestly, I tend to avoid businesses that don't follow this process. It's just not worth the hassle. You might notice there is some similarity between the experience I described with Clint's dog walking service and Ripley's Gym. In both cases, I met the owner at the front desk with Amy, and in both cases, I signed a form granting my access for Amy to offer something to the business owner on my behalf. In Clint's case, he was getting a key card to be able to open up some of my apartment doors. And in Ripley's case, she was getting a ticket that had some of my personal information on it. The difference between key cards and tickets may sound obvious, but it is worth highlighting some of these differences. Information stored within the key card is hidden from the person receiving it. Information stored within the ticket is intended to be read by the person receiving it. The key card can be used to open apartment doors. The ticket does not imply any such authorisation. The ticket can be used as a standard and secure means of identification. Using a key card as means of proving your identity would be awkward, imprecise, and would vary from building to building. Despite these different uses, it is quite convenient to have a similar process for both. Amy does a great job of facilitating these interactions. She has all of the tenant information, consent forms, ticket printers and keycard machines that are necessary to make everything work quickly and easily. Also, in more and more cases, businesses want a ticket and a card at the same time, since this makes it easier for them to keep track of whose key card is whose. Given that, having Amy handle it all only makes sense. No surprises here, this isn't really my neighbourhood, it's OpenID Connect. This analogy explains why OpenID Connect was created and how it relates to OAuth 2. As you can tell from the analogy, OpenID Connect is designed to solve a very different problem than OAuth 2. OpenID Connect is designed to help identify people consistently, regardless of the identity provider which is being used. But OAuth 2 is designed to request limited access to people's resources, and it is highly specific to the resource in question. Though these uses are different, they are often complementary. In my analogy, Ripley's gym is known as a relying party. A relying party is an entity that uses or relies upon an external identity provider in order to establish the identity of its users. Each of the OAuth 2 style apartment buildings is an example of an identity provider. The main thing that a relying party needs from an identity provider is an ID token. These are the tickets that I described. They are in a standard format known as JWT that contain various details about the user, and they are cryptographically signed by the provider. Conceptually, this is similar to a watermark. These ID tokens are suitable for registering users, as Ripley did when I first joined up for the gym, as well as for logging users in, as I described using them to get inside the gym. Given that one of the main points of OIDC is interoperability between providers, all OIDC identity providers are required to publish a discovery document, which tells the relying parties exactly how to work with it. This is that well-known template I mentioned that the neighbourhood apartments buildings had to have available. The discovery document includes details like where to go in order to authorise users, where to get tokens, where to get information about users, etc. There are many libraries certified by the OpenID Foundation which can help you build a relying party.